I started out doing this service, just installing ceramic coatings in my grandparents' garage. I'm not VC funded. I don't have funding and tons of capital. I didn't get any loans. I didn't get any mommy, daddy money. This is all money that we built through the years, has gone into trying to build this operation from nothing. Why, hello there. My name is Noah, founder and co-owner of Dragon Auto, and in this video, I'm gonna help answer the question, who the heck is Dragon Auto? What do you guys do? How do you do it? And show you around the shop, let you guys meet the team. Maybe you've just booked an appointment, or maybe you're interested in our services, but instead of making the drive all the way out here, because I understand that people find out about us and live an hour away sometimes, I might save you the trip and help answer a lot of those basic questions. Plus, this is a chance and an opportunity for you to get the deep dive and the in-depth story if you're curious about that and you want to learn more about us. So at least this will get most of the stuff out there. You'll see behind me here, we're on Winter Street. So when you first pull up, you're going to see this is our first building over here. The green building is the office. And then you're also going to see our second building right over there with the white and the black shop doors. And before we even head inside, why did I choose this location? Why Milpitas? I actually grew up here. My grandparents moved here in 1978. My aunts, my mom, they went to Milpitas High School. They graduated from there. I went to Milpitas Unified School District. I'm Milpitas High, class of 2015. And I thought, instead of going to an adjacent city like San Jose or Fremont or something, I might save money on rent. How cool would it be to open up a shop and a business in my hometown? So I started out doing this service, just installing ceramic coatings in my grandparents' garage. And eventually the operation grew enough to the point where I had to move into our first shop. So that is the one behind me here. This first property goes all the way down there to that other metal building right there. So we had to sign for this whole property when we first moved in. It is not a looker. It is a sheet metal building. I call this the workshop. This is where work gets done. And we try our best to keep it clean, but there are so many vehicles that come through all the time. It is just always got something going on. We're always trying to clean it and stay on top of it, but it's just a metal building. It's not nice, it's not fancy, it's not our showroom. Let's check out the office. When you first pull up, you're most likely gonna come over here. You're gonna meet one of the staff members, and if nobody's in the office, then you can probably find them inside the workshop and get a hold of them, so that way they can go ahead and grab someone like me or my partner, Jen, who we'll be meeting later on in the video. So we'll come inside here to the office. It did not look like this when we first moved in. So I know it's a little bit on the darker side because these neon lights are way too bright. So we tried to dim them down a little bit and then do what we could to change the aesthetic here in the office. Before, it used to be very bland, very boring, very cookie cutter that you would see if you just walked into any generic auto shop. So we installed the floor tiles ourselves, went to Home Depot, bought a bunch of them, did all the paint ourselves. Like we are bootstrapped. I'm not VC funded. I don't have funding and tons of capital. I didn't get any loans. I didn't get any mommy, daddy money. This is all money that we built through the years, has gone into trying to build this operation from nothing. So this is the best that we could try to do. I got Hot Wheel gifts that clients gifted us sometimes, and other things like that we put up, small little touches, some photos and things. But we did the floor, we did the paint ourselves, got some wall art, some decorations, some graphics. Oh, over here, free for clients. All of our clients are more than welcome to grab an Olipop. Even if you stop by, you don't have to book a service. That's no problem. You're gonna visit our business. If you're interested in any of our services, you're always welcome to grab one of these. Love those because they're low sugar. If you like really high sugar, it's more power to you, but that stuff's bad for you. So I wanna make sure that we're also giving our clients quality drinks, not just like liquid sugar. Over here, I keep this up because this is a legacy item. You know, I mentioned that I used to start out doing ceramic coatings. This is a frame certificate for the very first professional grade ceramic coating I ever got my hands on. One of the biggest names in the game back when I first started doing it, Gtechniq. I started this in 2017. So I got my hands on Gtechniq Crystal Serum Ultra. I'll grab a bottle later for you guys in a bit. This is our demo station. So typically I come over here, we got some Rocklear, and this is not gonna be a Rocklear heavy video, but since it is the demo station for Rocklear, here are some shards that have cured. So the thickest piece of Rocklear that I got, and a few other smaller ones. It was a 2-part mixture that we mix hardener with, and it will self-level and cure into whatever shape you leave it into. So if I leave it to cure at the bottom of this bottle, that's what it turns into. I got my keys here. We do our scratch test. This is the side with Rocklear, this is the side without it, so that way I can explain everything. And then we come further into the office. This is the employee area where we do like some of our computer work and things like that. So generally, if you're a client, you just come straight into here, into the workshop if you wanted to see what's going on in here. So now we have some vehicles that are currently getting worked on today. We do everything. It doesn't matter if you come in with a $5,000 Honda or a $200,000 Porsche. If you are a client of ours and you pay us for services, we do not turn our nose up and we're like, oh, poor people, oh, can't. No, I'm just gonna cut corners. I'm not gonna bother putting in effort and making sure it's a quality job. If you come to us, we treat all the vehicles the same. We wanna make sure that if we're putting our name on it with a permanent service, that we can be proud that it's gonna leave our doors. Honda Accord, OEM Plus daily driver, very tastefully modified, and the owner has taken fantastic care of it and now wants to seal it in and make sure that the paint is not gonna get cooked anytime soon. Usually, Honda paint, you got 10 to 15 years before I would be concerned about the paint starting to peel. Brand new Mercedes GLE over here in white. We're gonna be doing 3 layers of Rocklear on the front of that, and just 1 layer for the Honda over here. And then we have a returning client that's been supporting us since the garage days, doing a Tesla Model Y, brand new over there. Also gonna be getting a single layer of Rocklear. You can see the team is hard at work behind me there. We got Sean, one of our part-time technicians. We got Jen, who's my partner, and the COO and basically the co-founder. And then we got Kevin, one of our senior technicians and my dear friend that I have known since high school. We've been building this together for the last couple years. Usually we can fit about 4 vehicles at a time in here. Like I said earlier, we get them all knocked out and we do all the prep work in here, and then later tonight, these are gonna be getting Rockleared. So, we also have Wang down here, who's been with me since literally like the very beginning. When I first started this 5 years ago, also one of our part-time technicians. So we go outside here to the wash area where we get most of our washing prep done. So we got our canopy, a metal canopy awning out here, and we do a lot of our wash prep for our vehicles. Nothing too fancy, just a standard pressure washer setup. And like I told you earlier, this is the other building on the property. Now, you would think like, how come you guys don't do anything with this building? Well, like you saw in the first one, it's just sheet metal. Like everything we've done to it, even the paint on the outside, I had to do that myself. So from the floor tiles to the lights and the insulation that you saw on the inside, that was all DIY work. And we were just about ready to invest into sprucing this one up and starting to use it. However, early 2024, this building became available. So the tenant that was in there previously, right across the street from us, moved out, and it became available January 2024. We had been maxing out how many Rocklear cars we could do in that shop. We were, capped with 4 a day, basically, and we had to let them cure overnight. And I foresaw the future. If we were gonna grow, we had an opportunity here, and it was big. This was a big, big risk for us because this was a huge building on the inside, like we'll see in just a moment. But I knew that with the direction the business was heading in and how many vehicles that we were gonna be having in the future, this was pretty much a must-have. So we signed the lease for it for 10 years. And some people jokingly show up and realize that we have both sides of the street. They're like, wow, it's like you guys own the street or something. No, it's not, it's not like that. But it could look that way. It could look that way. I've been told that way many times. So here we come into what I want to turn into our waiting room in the future. So clients generally just walk through here, but they don't do anything. We use it for some material storage and things like that. We got some racks and stuff. But in the future, I want to get that wall knocked down and turn it into our lobby. I would love to have an amazing lobby and waiting room. But like I said earlier, we're bootstrapped from the ground up. I don't have access to insane funding. And what I've been pouring most of our resources into is trying to provide a higher quality service and a higher quality experience for our clients in terms of the actual work that gets done on the vehicles. So you can see here, this might be a familiar site if you've seen any of our work on Instagram or YouTube, this is our showroom. So shortly after we first moved in here, I said, okay, one thing that we're gonna need for sure is we're gonna need a nice place for photos and pictures and the clients to pick up. So here's the showroom here with the epoxy floor and the lights 360 all the way around. This is generally where we'll leave a vehicle for pickup. Over here is another whole back area. There's another whole section in the back there that we're not doing anything with at the moment because we don't have unlimited funds to continue just renovating the entire building. We got to go section by section. Outside here is our parking lot where most of the employees park, or sometimes we leave client vehicles outside to bake in the sunlight. As we go farther into the back here, we are still saving up money to finish renovations for our installation booth. This is going to basically be a small booth that we pull vehicles into, and we can limit the AC usage. So right now we have AC for the whole building. So if I turn on the AC, it's got to cool the whole building down all at once. It gets very expensive and it takes a really long time to cool the overall temperature down into. So instead we can close it off in there, pull some cars in and lower the temperatures because our Rocklear installs really like cold temps. So we got to save up to finish the lighting in this area. And then we also have an additional showroom over here as well. So we have the white walls, we have the tile flooring. If you recognize that, that's a Mark Rober logo. Apparently the old tenant had him here for a video project before we moved in, and we thought it was kind of cool that his logo got spray painted on the shop door there, so we just decided to leave it. But the other showroom is right there. And then there's some other rooms like a meeting room and things like that for employees and whatnot, but we don't have to tour the back because we're currently not using it for anything relevant for you. Well, so that pretty much covers the very quick tour of both the buildings. Now, I can go ahead and start to explain a little bit more about my experience in the industry. So ever since I got my first car at 18, I have basically been elbow deep into the detailing industry. I wanted to protect that car. And of course, you go online, you start researching and looking up, hey, what are things that I can do to protect my vehicle? And you see that solutions might be like waxing. I got to wax every 3 months or something. I started out as a regular DIY weekend warrior consumer, just like everybody else. I've seen the marketing. I've gone through the same thought processes because I thought, hey, I don't want to have to keep waxing my car every single month for the rest of forever just to take care of it. And that led me into getting into ceramic coatings. So like I said earlier, this guy right there, Gtechniq Crystal Serum Ultra. This was a 9-year warranty coating that was released in 2017, and it was one of the best things you could get your hands on back then. I've watched the industry evolve and come out with different offerings. We currently use Underdog coatings. The founder of this company is actually an ex-Ceramic Pro employee. I think he was one of their heads of marketing or something like that. Very high up in the company, and he did not really like their business practices. He did not like the marketing BS. He liked to be straight and honest with people. I resonated with that because that is how I also like to run the business here. No marketing BS, no false claims, no subscription models, no gotchas in the warranties. You know, for example, some companies, I'm not going to say names, but some companies will say, hey, we got a lifetime warranty on our ceramic coating, but in the fine print, they say you got to come back every single year and pay us $200 to touch it up. If you're touching something up every single year, then you can make anything last lifetime. He wasn't a fan of that. Over here is my ceramic coating bottle collection. There is at least over 300 bottles of ceramic coating in there. This isn't even all of the ones that I've accumulated since I first started. I only started collecting these once we moved into this building because I kind of thought, hey, you know, someday in the future, I kind of want to use this for a video. So maybe I might pour this whole collection of bottles on myself or something like that for a funny video. But this is physical proof. You know, a lot of these bottles right here, this is at least like $150. Like we're talking tens of thousands of dollars of ceramic coatings. So we still ceramic coat, because you might have seen that we specialize in Rocklear now, but we still ceramic coat things like trims and wheels and glass. So we're still always using them. But that is how we started the business. It was literally just founded off of ceramic coating cars because that was the best thing I had access to when we were still working out of the garage setup. Then we move into here into the shop space and we start diversifying into paint protection film and PPF services. And we did that for a couple years. Am I the best PPF installer in the world? Absolutely not. I would consider myself slightly above average at best. However, I have worked with it enough to understand the pros, the cons, and the limitations of the service, because you pick up on that after spending a couple years doing something. And then in October 2023, roughly give or take like a few months, that was around the general time that we started getting access to Icon Rocklear. It's the first time I saw it online. I thought, this stuff looks too good to be true. I 100% get the thinking and the skepticism, because I was highly skeptical. If I'm gonna offer anything to my clients with my name on it, after we have worked tirelessly, 100-hour work weeks sometimes, just to build this business, I wanna make sure it's no BS. So I come in for my training day, my demo day, we finally get to work with it, put it on some cars and everything like that. I'm like, oh, it makes perfect sense. So now that is the main service that we offer to our clients, because it is the thing that makes the most sense in the long term for vast majority of people. The demand for Icon Rocklear is the highest. I can do a ceramic coating for people, sure, but the prep work takes about the same amount of time as a Rocklear job, and it lasts a fraction of the time. So with Rocklear lasting 15 years and ceramic coating lasting maybe a third of that, it just makes sense to give you the one permanent thing that's gonna last you pretty much the life of your vehicle. Plus we can layer it on the front end. So 3 layers in the front of this one is gonna be thicker for rock chip protection and debris protection. So that way he's got more protection on the front impact of the car, but doesn't have to worry so much about doing 3 layers on the back, because it's not gonna receive as much damage. You can't layer ceramic coatings to a meaningful degree the same way. Your only solution would have been PPF. But what I don't like about PPF is the fact that after 10 years, that's pretty much the longest warranty in the PPF industry, it'll start to yellow and fade. It's not guaranteed to do that at 10 years, but no company is gonna say, yeah, you're gonna be good for 20. That's why they warranty it for 10, because they're like, you should be good up to 10. After 10, who knows? That's up to whether or not you left it outside or not. All right, this is who the heck is Dragon Auto? Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Jan, the co-owner and chief of operations of Dragon Auto.
Okay, what are we working on right now?
You're working on a Tesla, a Model Y to be specific. It is our client, Chris. He also brought in his NSX and Lotus. Yeah, I was like thinking, what was the other car? And then after this, he's gonna bring his Porsche.
And then after the Porsche, he's gonna bring his Integra Type S. Five cars total. Who's this? Who we got over here?
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm a technician here.
Yeah, I know, right? I introduced you earlier. What are you doing right now, Sean?
We just finished polishing this 2026 Model Y. Yeah, 2026 Tesla Model Y.
Okay, so what are we doing after the polish?
After the polish, we're gonna blow out the car, make sure there's no more water in the crevices and such. And then after that, we'll move on to the alcohol prep to make sure it's as clean as we can get it before we get it taped up and coated.
He's a natural, ladies and gentlemen. All right, not to interrupt the hard work, but this is who the heck is Dragon Auto? Who am I speaking to?
I am Kevin.
How long have you been here, Kevin?
Since 2023.
2023. Okay, so two and a half years or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, what are we doing right now on the Tesla?
I am using a chemical to clean the polish off the plastic trim.
Okay, right on. Because we don't want that to stain if we like let it sit, right?
Right.
But because we're using that cleaning chemical, it just comes right out.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. And then what's up afterwards? What are we doing right after we're done with this?
Cleaning the door jambs and then blowing out the car, and then panel wiping the entire vehicle, and then tape.
Nice. So we open the door jambs to clean them up because we also don't want any polish residue to get left behind, right?
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. So look at that attention to detail, man. That's why Kevin's the OG. He's the GOAT. He's not just any Kevin. He's the Kevin. We got our wheel and tire specialist, right? Who am I speaking to?
Huang. One
Huang.
of the technicians that work at Dragon Auto.
Huang, how long have you been here?
2020?
Yeah,
Something
2020.
like that?
I was saying he's the OG.
Hi.
I said, hey, Huang, do you want to come up to San Francisco with me to help ceramic coat my friend's car in his garage all the way back in 2020? And we stayed there for 16 hours until the coating was done. And now he is the premier specialist in ceramic coating and tire dressing wheels and tires. That's like his favorite job.
No, I'm just stuck here doing it constantly.
Somebody's got to
so
do it.
many wheels.
Somebody's got to do it. So if you like the ceramic coating on your wheels, make sure to give a shout out to Huang, please. Well, so there's a quick introduction with the team, but I don't want to distract them too much because they are busy at work. So that way, you know, we can go home at a reasonable time today. To build upon that and explain more, Jen, I met in 2017, and we've been together for eight years. Time flies. I had to do some thinking there in my head because it feels like it hasn't been almost a decade, but it has been. Jen used to go to UC Davis, so she graduated with a degree in pharmaceutical chemistry and then got into the industry right afterwards, but along the way has always been helping me with every stage of the business because she is a lovely and supportive partner that I am very grateful to have. So there's a certain point where we did the math and we thought like, hey, you're sitting in traffic 2 hours a day and only getting paid $3,000 a month. I think it makes more sense to go all in on the business for the time being. And then if you want to pursue STEM and go back into the industry later afterwards, then you can do so after we, get Dragon Auto going. So we're still in the process of building everything out. Very much not trying to work like this forever. Always having to be at the shop, being the first ones in, last ones out. We are trying to build something sustainable that can grow, and I can hire out more help in the future. My biggest concern is that since we have poured so much effort into the business, that we would not want to just exit because that's the easier thing to do, and then the quality drops off. If we hire ourselves out, the quality has to stay the same. That is the most important thing to me, and why I would rather go the slow route and take it nice and easy and just make sure that everything's done properly for a good, clean transition, because I hate it when a company builds up a good reputation, a good product, and then you start using it and then they sell and new people take over and then it sucks afterwards. And then it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, man. Like, as a business owner, I would want to build a business that I myself would want to purchase from. Hopefully that made sense. So currently Jen is a chief of operations. It might seem like I work on a lot of the vehicles, and I used to do every single vehicle that came through these doors, but now I have found myself behind the desk, behind the computer, behind the camera, because as the founder, my most important job, my responsibility to my team, my employees, my staff, is that they always have that stability of cars coming in, right? And that's why the media and the marketing is so important. So I can trust them to do really, really good work on the cars inside of the shop and get those jobs done correctly. And Jen helps oversee that and make sure everything is done. But I typically focus on meeting people, shaking hands, and looking over marketing data and going over media projects and things of that sort. Like right now, I'm filming this video while they're busy working. Kevin, like I mentioned, is my homie. We had a ceramics class. We are the same exact year from Milpitas High School, class of 2015, same age. We've known each other since middle school. And back in high school, I was always talking about, hey man, I want to start like a ceramics business or something like that. And he left his previous job as a server at a restaurant, I believe. And I had mentioned to him like, hey man, I know we were always talking about business stuff. I have Dragon Auto. I just moved into like this building over here. If you'd like to help me build this, like I would love to have you. And yeah, he's my right-hand man in the shop. I can trust him and Jen to like knock stuff out and get it done while I try to focus on the outreach and getting the word out there and letting people know that we exist. Like I had said, Huang is my day one. I used to do Dragon Boat with him. I was his team captain / coach when he was on the high school Dragon Boat team with me. So we go way back as well, all the way to Milpitas High School days. He is Milpitas High School class of 2017 or 2018. It's been a long time, so my memory getting a little foggy on that, but I am very, very blessed to have so many good people on the team that back me up and support me. Sean as well, he is a much more recent addition to the team, but he himself was already in the interest of ceramic coating for his own like friends and family circle and doing it as a side hustle as well. And so when I listed up saying, hey, we need more technicians, it was a natural choice to bring Sean into the team because he already had that fine attention to detail and I can trust him as a technician to make sure that the jobs are done correctly. So those are the guys working in the shop right now. Now, you might also ask, Chris, who's Chris? There's this Chris guy that I spoke to on the phone or something like that, and people pull up sometimes and they see me and they're like, are you Chris? We do sound very similar, but Chris is our service director. So the other thing that I used to do, because as a founder, I always have to go to the most important aspect of the business, the most important thing where my attention is needed most, is that I used to handle all the calls, all the texts. I was always at the front desk because it was important to me. That is the first interaction that you might have with a business. And so I wanted to make sure that it was done correctly and not just outsource it to I didn't want to just outsource it to somebody who might not put our best foot forward. I wanted to make sure that everything was explained correctly and so on and so forth. And funny enough, Chris is also from Milpitas High School. Seeing a trend here. The only person not from Milpitas High School is Jen. She went to Yerba Buena High School in San Jose. But everyone else so far that I've mentioned is from MHS. Chris is older than me by about 2 years. So he was a senior when I was a sophomore. We also did several clubs and activities together, so I already knew him. And then he had stopped by as a client to get Rocklear done on his vehicle, and we were talking, and he was saying, hey, you know, I'm in this kind of industry, I'm kind of transitioning between companies right now, and I thought, I've been looking for a guy to replace me this whole time, and because I already know you, and I know your work ethic, I think we would be a great fit to work together, man. So we went ahead and tested it out, and I mean, the rest is history. He's been here for 1.5 years now. He is absolutely killing it, and it was such a load off my mind to have Chris talking to people at the front and center of our interactions with people who contact us, because I could trust him 100% to do as good of a job as I would or better when people first reach out to us. And clients compliment him all the time to me, and they say, Chris did a fantastic job, et cetera, all those types of things. And it makes it really, really nice to know that clients are getting that A+ level treatment when they contact Chris, and he's giving them 110%. So Chris works hybrid. I let him come into the shop or I let him work from home, but it makes sense most of the time for him to work from home because all he has to do is be near his phone or his computer. He doesn't actually have to physically be here. So unless he is potentially meeting a client in person to talk with them, because they arrange that, typically it's just me and Jen here at the shop that are interacting with clients first, and then Chris will only interact via text, call, and email. And that's pretty much the core team that we have right now. We run pretty lean for the most part because I would rather make sure that the business is 100% stable before we start to scale. And scaling can be kind of scary sometimes because you want to, 2x your business and take in 2 times more cars. The most important thing, like I could do that right now and make more money and force it, but I don't want the quality to drop off. Not just the work on the car, but the experience for the clients. I don't want them to feel like they're getting rushed out the door because there's only a few people who are able to help them. So I want to make sure that we do that right and make sure our foundations, our systems are set before we bring even more people into the team and bring even more cars through the shop. So after all that, who the heck is Dragon Auto? It's not just me. Sure, I'm the founder and the face of the media presence, and this did all just start with a crazy idea in a garage. But Dragon Auto is the team. It's the people who've poured in their hard work, their sweat, the late nights, and given obsessive attention to detail. Some of whom you've met earlier, and some who no longer work here. But every single person who's ever been a part of this has helped contribute to push this thing forward so we could be who and what we are today. Most of all though, Dragon Auto is the clients. I mean, we wouldn't have anything to work on if it wasn't for them. They have to still bring us vehicles to help restore and protect. It's their stories that they share with us, their lives, their perspectives. What makes this work so much more fulfilling and completes the feedback loop for us is we don't want to just come in and think, oh man, another day, another car to work on, better get to work. It's when they tell us the story or the history behind the vehicle. Like the person who grew up with nothing, worked their butt off to get an amazing job, and then bought a brand new M3 as a testament to how far they've come. Or like someone preserving a memory by restoring and protecting a car that a loved one had left behind for them. Or another person who waited decades to finally be able to purchase their dream car. Or it's the person celebrating a lifetime of hard work and topping it all off by treating themselves to a nice retirement gift in the form of a fun sports car, because they understand that life is too short and sometimes you just have to enjoy the small things while you still can. There are many more people just like them, all of them and their stories. That is Dragon Auto, because it was never meant to just be my business alone. It's the sum of everyone's stories that comes through these doors. And that is who we are. And for those of you who made it to the end of the video, thank you a lot. If you ever stop by the shop sometime, please do let us know that you watched the video and enjoyed it, or if you have any feedback. It really does mean a lot to me and the team to know that people connected with the stories or videos that we put out there, because that's really the most important thing for us. We're trying to show people exactly how we run things, how we do things, and who we are, and it helps build trust. We spend a considerable amount of time and effort putting these out there because we want people to be able to decide for themselves if they trust what we do, like us, and are ultimately going to be happy with the service they're getting themselves into. We don't believe in pressuring you into getting our service just because it makes us more money. We only want to do it if it's actually going to help solve the problem that you're trying to solve, which is generally, my car looks like junk and I want to bring it back to life, and I just got a new car and I want to seal it in and protect it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.